Hey, production business owners and photographers, for this video, if you're ever wondering how you can avoid some of the most common mistakes that people make in the studio, you're definitely going to want to watch this video. In this video, I'm going to cover the principles of studio lighting, and I'm going to explain the most fundamental concepts of studio lighting so that you can incorporate it into your workflow as you continue to grow your business. My name is Jordi-Lakeem Foster, the CEO of JFP Studios and the founder of the $1 Million Photographer Coaching Program. I've been in the brand and photography space for over a decade, and I've worked with some of the top brands in the country like H&M, NYU, amazing local business owners and photographers just like you. In my decade-long photography career, my team and I have produced photo shoots for over 600 clients. We've taught studio lighting principles to hundreds of photographers, and we've showed photographers worldwide how to grow a profitable photography business. So what is studio lighting? The true power of studio lighting is really in the fact that you're able to control any setting you want. So studio lighting is typically going to refer to the use of artificial light sources such as strobes, continuous lights, LED panels within a controlled environment to create the perfect lighting conditions for your photography. So unlike natural light, studio light gives you full control. So not partial, but full control over the intensity, the direction, and the quality of light, really enabling you to create any look that you want. And this allows you to achieve consistent professional results regardless of the time of day or weather conditions like in natural light. The magic of this is you can shape the light to suit your creative vision, and you can deliver images that blows your clients' minds. So there are four studio lighting mistakes most photographers make. One is overpowering the lights. Two is having an inconsistent spread of light, not controlling the ambient light around them, and using the wrong lighting modifiers in the wrong situations. So you're going to see how these are going to play out as I explain some of the concepts below. So the core elements of studio lighting, these are like the building blocks, so to speak, if you guys are Lego fans out there. So studio lighting is built on the following few key elements that every photographer must understand to achieve effective results. You're going to have your light sources. So where's the light coming from? Your light modifiers. Are you going to have a softbox, a beauty dish? Are you going to have a light snoot? Like, these things are going to modify or change the shape of your light. Then you're going to want to understand how do you balance shadows and your highlights. And then there's a technique that we call lighting ratios, which has to do with what is the level of lighting versus shadow that you have in the images. And then, of course, your foundational lighting setups. So your light sources, as I said before, these can be your strobe lights, your continuous lights, or LED panels. Each type serves a different purpose, from providing constant illumination or creating bursts of light for capturing movement. Now, I'm not going to be going into each type of light in this video, as that's out of the scope. This is just an introduction so you guys have an idea of just what this stuff is, okay? Your light modifiers, right? So your sources of light, so that's where the light is coming from. Now your light modifiers, so these are going to be like your soft boxes, umbrellas, beauty dishes, and reflectors to create different looks. And I have an image here because who doesn't like images, guys? So this image, as you can see, we have an umbrella. We have an umbrella with a covering. We have soft boxes, an octabox, an umbrella with a silver reflector, another soft box, and a beauty dish. And if you know, all of these were shot at different positions. At the same position with different lighting modifiers with the same amount of power to show you how they shape the face. And as you can see from the shadows over here on the right side, the shape of the shadow, like this one is pretty wide, and then this one here, the lines are a little bit softer and more gradated. If you look here with the soft box, the shadows are wrapping more around the cheek, giving a more contoured look. This octobox look makes the face appear wider. The silver umbrella is kind of hiding the eyes a little bit. And as you can see, it has darkened the upper area of the eye. With the next softbox over here, it's very similar to the first softbox look, but if you look underneath the eyelids, you'll see that the shadows are a little bit more pronounced, and then your beauty dish, right? It just has defined the eyelids, it's really defined the nose, and it's defined underneath the chin area a lot. So as you can see by this example, each of these modifiers are going to give you a different effect. Next, your shadows and highlights. The definition of photography is painting with light. So we are literally using light to create our art, which means that at all times, you're going to be balancing light and dark to create the actual perfect portrait, as you can see here. And the balance creates dimension and depth because we're looking at a 2D surface. So the shadows and the highlights are going to be the tool that you use to create that three-dimensional look that clients love. Next, you may or may not be familiar with this technique. It's called your lighting ratios. This simply refers to the balance between the key light, which is your main source of light, and the fill light, which is your light that is used to reduce shadows. On this image, you'll notice here that we have the key light positioned to the right and the fill light position. The key light is on the left, the fill light is on the right. And as you can see, 1-to-1, let me just move my head. 1-to-1 means that both sides are evenly lit. When you get to a 2-to-1 lighting ratio, you have effectively cut the fill light power in half. And as you keep going down, you will notice that the shadows are getting darker and darker and darker. So the key light is at the same power, and then you're just reducing the power of the secondary light. That's how you can create some drama. So you can still fill in the face, but you can also create some really interesting looks doing that. So that's your lighting ratios. Now, your foundational lighting setups, right? So 1, 2, and 3 lighting setups and the foundations thereof, they are going to create different types of light. So I grabbed a example here from online for you guys. This here is your camera. This is a beauty dish here. And then we have 2 lights on either side. When you combine each lighting setup with like different lighting positions, etc., it is going to give you different looks. And of course, right, I can't really show you exactly how this is going to work without the visual, but that is to just give you an idea. So why is studio lighting critical for your business growth? Learning these principles, first and foremost, they're going to make you a better, more confident photographer. One of the lack of confidences that I've experienced speaking to a lot of photographers is that they claim that they're natural light photographers, or they prefer to shoot outdoors in natural light. And when I dig a little bit deeper, I'll, for example, ask themselves, hey, like, rate your lighting skills on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. They'll say like 3 or 4. And I say, okay, if we were able to increase that number to 7 or 8, now would you feel better about going into the studio? Yes. So that means that it is a skill issue and not really a confidence issue. And as you increase your skill, you increase your confidence. So if you're confident in shooting in a studio, you'll be able to charge higher rates and take on more challenging products, because natural light is eventually going to cap out after a certain point, and you're going to be in a situation where you need a speed light, where you need to do some off-camera flash on a location to create a dramatic look. And when you know these skills, you are going to be in a good position. The next thing is you build more trust with your clients. I think the standard of work should, like, good photography should be the cost of entry, right? Like, it shouldn't be a thing where it's like, oh, my work is on like a scale of 1 to 10. You should be good. And that is because clients expect high quality images, and lighting is the foundation of great images. And when you know how to manipulate it to enhance the look and feel and make them stand out, this builds trust in your clients, which ultimately is going to make you an almost default option in their book when considering for large projects. You also save hours of time in post production. So if you're one of those people that are like, hey, I'll fix it in post, I mean, that's gonna only work but so many times, because when you get into levels where you're turning over like 3, 4, 500 pictures a week, you don't have time to be fixing things in post, because that's gonna just really slow you down. So any uneven skin tones, harsh shadows, or poor lighting, you want to fix that on set. You also are able to attract higher paying clients, and you can work on larger projects. If you are not able to, and guys, just ignore this graphic, please, right? Because it's not relevant for this. But when you master studio lighting, you'll be able to attract clients who value your expertise. And with this increased confidence, you can charge premium rates. That is just a fact, right? And I'm going to remove this picture because somebody is going to mention something about it. So let me remove that. All right. So now the fundamentals, the 4 lighting fundamentals that you must master, right? I'm going to just the 4 lighting fundamentals you must master. All right. So there are 4 properties of light that are going to affect every shot that you do. So firstly is your light quantity, the light quality, the light temperature or the color, and the direction of the light. So understanding these principles will take your work from good to great. So the quantity or the intensity of light, let's break it down. This refers to the amount of light hitting your subject. More light, brighter image; less light, darker image. Managing this is going to help you to control the contrast and the visibility of your subject. So as you can see here, we have some lights that were shot off all at the same distance. And as you can see, when we're at 2.5 watts, the light doesn't really travel that far. And then when we're at 20 watts, you'll notice that the light travels a little bit farther. And you'll notice that for the most part, all of these lights, when they get up to about 5 meters, you don't really need to know exactly how much that is, but there's a rule at play here called the inverse square law. And you will notice that at this point, the light is starting to fall off. That is because once your light at any power reaches a certain distance, the light fall off is inevitable, which means that the quantity of light is one of the factors that impacts your brightness. As you can see, the closer you are to any of these lights, the brighter they are. The further you are, the darker it is. Next, the quality or hardness or softness of light, right? So this is going to be the hardness or softness of light. So the quality of light pertains to how hard or soft the light appears, which this is going to affect your shadows or your highlights. Soft lights provide a gentle transition between the highlights and the shadows, and hard lights create strong, sharp transitions. As you can see here, we have a very hard light source. The light is falling off the nose. The lines are very defined. And then if you look over here to our light source in the middle, same light position. You see the light is hitting the hair, but the fall off is just so beautiful, right? Like, it's very soft, it's falling off, it's not so harsh. And then over here again, it is also diffused, but the light source is a little bit harder because the lines are just more defined. So soft light, hard light. This is still soft, but it's harder than this one. So soft light, hard light. Let's move into the third one, which is the color or the temperature of light. This is It gets no easier than this, right? So lighting in photography is measured in terms of Kelvin. On most cameras, you will find that your daylight setting will typically fall between 5,000 and 5,500. In most situations, this is going to be good enough to get you an accurate color shot. And when we say accurate, we mean as true to life as possible. In some cameras, when you go up to, this is going to be inverted on some cameras. So on some cameras, the higher the temperature, the warmer it is, and the lower the temperature, the cooler it is. So this is this may be different depending on where like how you're measuring it and what camera you're using, but just something to be mindful of. Your daylight is typically going to standard be 5,000 to 5,500, and like tungsten light bulbs are rated 2,500 to 2,800K, and they emit a warm light. But on your camera, this is going to be inverted. So your 3,200 is going to be your cooler, and 5,000 above is going to be warmer. Okay. Next, the direction of light. The direction of light. So this is going to be the path from which your light hits the subject. So in this image here, you can see that we have our subject perfectly lit. We have one light here hitting her from the front, causing shadows on the right side of the face. So the light is coming from over here. And if you look very closely in her eyes, you will be able to notice that the light source is on the left side. Next, the side light. As you can see, we have one light coming from the right-hand side to illuminate the right side of the face and then cast a shadow on the left. Then we have a backlight, which is shooting a light from behind our subject, and there's no light coming into the front, which is creating a silhouette. So that's how the direction of the light affects your shots. So how can you guys fix this? Well, I'd like to give you guys an invitation to my upcoming studio lighting masterclass. In this masterclass, I'm going to walk you through 3 key lighting setups, 1 light, 2 light, and 3 light setups. And being a part of this unique experience doesn't stop there. I will show you how we decided on the lighting setups for the model that will be present. So this is a shot from one of my previous studio lighting masterclasses. We had a model, and what we did for this was I showed you guys how we created the mood board, how we picked the outfits, and how we picked the lighting setups before we got to the session. That way, when you get to the session, you will have a 360 understanding of how the shoot was planned. I'll be sharing my entire process on creating concepts for my client so you can master the complete photo shoot planning process. There's typically 4 stages: concept development, pre-production and planning, light and design and the setup, and execution and post-production. So in concept development, I'll show you guys how to create mood boards that highlight the lighting, location, outfits, posing, and your vision so your clients can be wowed before they arrive on set. I will show you my entire pre-planning process. So this is going to help you to plan for the shoot in advance so you can save so much time on set. It's definitely going to set the tone of the shoot. And this, I'm going to literally share the process that I've used to close 5-figure projects. And I'll show you how I go about choosing models, makeup artists, and any other crew members. 3, after that, I'll show you how to plan your lighting so that there's no more freestyling and guessing what setups that you'll use. And then 4, I'll show my post-production workflow that I use to deliver my photos to my clients within 3 days of the shoot. This has been a major selling point for me because the average photographer returns their shoots in 5 to 10 business days. And I believe if you want to be the best, you have to do things differently. So as you can see right here, this is a mood board showing the location, poses, and the overall vibe of the shoot. And then the final result is what we created over here on the left side, just to show you how this works. And that is your exclusive invite. So I'm going to be showing you guys all of that stuff. So you'll be getting a personalized portfolio review. You'll master the essential 1, 2, and 3 light setups with hands-on training. You'll get direct feedback on photos taken during the workshop, work with a professional model. You'll receive our lighting training manual with the fundamental lighting setups that you need to know, and you'll be able to network and collaborate with other photographers. But there's more. You'll also receive the following bonuses: full lead magnet trainer masterclass. We have a training on how to do a consultation and how to sell premium packages. We have a guide on how to plan a brand marketing campaign. And we also have a full training on how to create your photography business operating systems. So that way you have a full package to not only help you elevate your studio lighting skills, but to also help you to elevate your business as well. At the time of this video, the next workshop that we're having is October 19th, and this will all change as time goes on. You can check the description below because the links will be updated as new stuff develops. How much does it cost? It's going to be $8.99. The deposit to reserve your session is $300. That may be paid through debit, credit, Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay. And we make all of these payment methods available so that way money isn't an issue for you. Now you may be wondering, how do you register? If you have questions that you want to ask, you may just click this link to book a call. And if you want to enroll right now, you'll be able to click this link. This is going to bring you over to the page. And it said something went wrong. So let me just fix the link for you guys. Okay, yeah, right. So you'll be able to get here over to the page. Again, if you have questions, book a free call. And then if you want to save your seat, you'll just be able to click on the button. The button is going to bring you over to the calendar. Again, guys, this calendar will be updated. And as the next set of workshops come up, you'll be able to enroll as you please. You'll be able to select it's typically going to be 1 or 2 sessions for the day. You'll be able to come in here, fill in your information, and then you'll be able to make your payment. All you have to do is just put $300 down right away to reserve it, and you'll be all set. So that is how that works. And guys, I just want to thank you for tuning in to the trainer today. Hope this helped you. If anything, just rewatch the trainer, take notes, and keep shooting. I'll see you in the next video.